my name is Bonnie. I'm going to take you through a modified sun salutation today, and if you have a mat at home, or you could do this on a carpet or even the floor, just make sure that you have some support for your knees if you're doing it on the bare floor. You may even need support for your knees if you're doing it on a mat. It depends on if you have tender knees or not. And the other thing, if you have a block like this or a book that's a hardcover book, so that at the end when we do a supported bridge pose, you have something to rest the low back on. And then I'll read you a little excerpt from Mary Oliver at the end. So we'll start by coming to the top of your mat in mountain pose. So feeling the soles of your feet, the grounding of the feet resting on the floor, and imagine that energy going down towards the earth, but letting there be a yielding to it as well, so that your knees are nice and soft. And then the long spine with the long back of the neck and the crown of the head reaching up to the sky, lots of width across your collarbones. Bringing your hands together at the heart center, and as you inhale, bringing your arms up and looking up if that's comfortable for your neck. On the exhale, letting your knees bend, engaging at the belly, coming into a forward fold, letting your head go. Inhale to come halfway up, looking up. Exhale back to your forward fold. Really bend your knees now and place your hands, one on each side of your feet. And then on your inhale, take your right foot back, knee on the mat, left foot back, knee on the mat, and lower to your abdomen with your forehead on the mat. Hands are underneath the shoulders, elbows are tucked in towards the ribs, and you have the tops of your feet on the mat with the pelvis heavy. Inhale to come into a half cobra, lifting your head and shoulders but still looking down. Exhale and release down. Pressing into your hands to press yourself back to child's pose, and moving your hands closer by making a fist and then moving the heels of the hands closer to the shoulders. Curling your toes under, coming into that rounded back. As you press into your hands, lift your knees to come into a downward facing dog. And take a breath here in down dog. Inhale your left knee to the mat. Exhale your right foot between your hands. We're going to come into a low lunge here. So anchoring with that left foot on the mat, pressing into the top of the foot. Bringing your hands to your thighs. You may wish to stay here or come into the full pose by taking your arms up and looking ahead. Again, aware of that long back of the neck. And now we'll come into a forward fold. Hands onto the mat beside your feet. Curl the toes of your left foot and lift your left knee. And then as you inhale, take your right foot beside your left and release into forward fold again. Inhale to come all the way up to standing with your arms above your head. Exhale, hands to the heart center. And we'll do the other side. Inhale, arms up, looking up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, hands on the mat. Inhale, left foot back, knee on the mat. Exhale, right foot back, knee on the mat. Lower to abdomen. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale to half cobra. Exhale, release down. Pressing into your hands to come up and back into child's pose, moving your hands closer, curling your toes, coming into that rounded back. Inhale, lift your knees, and you're in downward facing dog. Taking a breath in down dog here. Inhale, right foot, knee to the mat. Exhale, left foot between the hands. Curl up, Now we're going to come into low lunge. So you could just stay here, or you could bring your hands onto your left thigh or come into the full pose. Inhale, hands to the mat. Curl the toes of your right foot, lift your right knee, and bring that right foot beside the left, and you're in forward fold. Taking a breath here, letting your head release down. Inhale to come up to standing with your arms above your head. Exhale, hands to the heart center. We'll come down to the mat. I'm just going to take that block and have it near me. And we'll start off with some pelvic tilts. So if you come to lie on your back with your knees bent, and clasping your hands, take them behind the back of your head so that that round area at the back of your head is resting into the palms of your hands, a little bit like a hammock. Your knees are bent with the feet, hips width apart, so that you can feel good contact with the soles of your feet on the mat. And first of all, we'll do 2 or 3 pelvic tilts. So as you inhale and come into that arch back, the elbows are coming down towards the floor, and then on the exhale, as you flatten your back, the elbows just relax a bit. And we'll do 2 more like that. Inhaling and exhaling. As you flatten the back, the belly draws down towards the spine. And now we'll do 2 or 3 more, and this time we're going to bring the head and shoulders up and bring the elbow to the opposite knee. So as you inhale into that arched back, exhale, bring the head and shoulders up and lift the right knee and bring your knee into the elbow into the knee, and then release down. Doing the same on the opposite side. Release down, and in your own time, do 2 more on each side. This is your last one. Relax here now. Take your arms away from the back of your head. You may feel that there's a little bit of tightness around the shoulders after doing that. Relax here for a breath. And that book or block that you have, bring it close to you so that when we come into bridge pose, you can just reach the book or the block and put it underneath your back. So coming into bridge pose, get your feet as close to your buttocks as they will come with comfort. If you can get them so close that you can feel the backs of your heels with your middle finger, that's really great. Engaged at those inner thighs and also at the around the navel. As you inhale, press your feet in, come into a bridge, and then put that block in so that it's across the low back, across the sacrum, and then let the sacrum rest down onto the block. So it's sort of below your hips. Let your arms come out along the floor, away from your body, with your palms facing up, and that will give you lots of width across your collarbones, making sure that the back of your neck is long, so the chin is just very, very slightly tucked in. This engagement of the inner thighs continues throughout the pose, although you are in a relaxed pose here. This is a little bit of a restorative pose, and we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. You could close your eyes and let yourself come inward as you breathe, and if you would like to exhale through the mouth, that's fine too. Sometimes it helps to release tension and tightness, especially around the jaw area. If this is a very comfortable pose for you, there is always the option to stay here for a little bit longer and just let your body become nice and relaxed and release tension around any tense areas as you just sit and bring your attention to your breath with your eyes closed. We're going to come out, and in order to do that, press into your feet again so that you come up into that bridge pose and take that support away, but don't come down in a hurry. Let your spine release down one vertebrae at a time, engaged here at the inner thighs so the knees are always facing forward. Letting yourself come all the way down very, very, very slowly. And then once you are there, bring your knees up above your hips, and you could draw them into your chest, either holding on at the shins or holding on at the backs of the thighs, whichever works for you. Take a couple of breaths here. Another nice way to release the back is to have your one hand behind the back of your head, and as you inhale, and on the exhale, as the belly draws in towards the spine, you could come into a little bit of a curled up ball, and then release down. And one more time, inhaling to come up, bringing the forehead to the knees to the forehead, and release down. Again, there's always a choice to now stretch out and come into a Shavasana here for about 5 or 10 minutes if you have the time to do that. Otherwise, come onto your side and using that top hand to press into the floor and bring you up to a comfortable seat. And I'll read you a piece from Mary Oliver's book called Swan, and this is called Don't Hesitate. If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, don't hesitate. Give in to it. There are plenty of lives and whole towns destroyed or about to be. We are not wise and not very often loud, but much can never be redeemed. Still, life has some possibility left. Perhaps this is its way of fighting back, that sometimes something happens better than all the riches or power in the world. It could be anything, but very likely you notice it in the instant when love begins. Anyway, that's often the case. Anyway, whatever it is, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not made to be a crumb.